happened today? What's that?
Someone hurt.
Okay. How did she get hurt?
She was stabbed. I don't like her
Why is that?
because I hate her.
On September 12th, 2018, a brutal stabbing took place in Fitzgerald High School. As the class of 20 descended into chaos, the Warren Police Department began receiving frantic 911 calls.
That's fucked up.
Oh, wow.
911. Hello, hi. We need an ambulance to Fitzgerald High School. What's going on there? We have somebody bleeding. Is it a student? Yes.
One of the students started attacking a classmate in front of 20 students, who were now eyewitnesses to the first ever murder to occur inside a school in Macomb County.
Okay, and why are they bleeding? What happened? There was a fight. Okay. All right, where's the student that's bleeding? What room number? We're in C227. C227. Any weapons there? Not that we know of. No? Okay, where's the person that assaulted this kid? I'm taking my another student
I don't even
to another
know
room.
if this is the real
Another
crime
room.
scene or
And you
not,
said
but
no
if it
weapons? Are
is,
they're restrained in
look
there?
at how scattered everything is
Okay,
across
hang
that
on 1 second. Let me
one
get help on the line.
room.
We'll be right back on the line. Don't hang up.
The victim of this brutal attack was 16-year-old Diana Gibson.
16 years old.
After the cold-blooded killer was removed from her, a school resource officer immediately began life-saving procedures in hopes that her wounds wouldn't be fatal.
Where's the kid
How do
bleeding
you even
from?
get that into school,
Somewhere in the neck is
bro?
what we're being
Like,
told. Okay, do we know why?
Well,
Okay, I want somebody to take a clean. Listen.
when I was in high school, they had fucking metal detectors and shit. Niggas you couldn't even get into the school unless you went through the metal detectors first. Or like, is y'all cool? And we had them at every entry point. How the fuck are you allowed? How do you get that big of a knife? That knife big as shit, bruh. Here's a picture of the fucking knife. That knife is big. That don't look like no small ass knife. I need a better picture of it. But it don't look like no big ass knife.
Somewhere in the neck is what we're being told. Okay, do we know why?
She stabbed her in the
Okay,
neck.
I want somebody to take a clean. Listen. I want somebody to take a clean cloth and apply pressure where they're bleeding from. What caused that? Was it just an assault, or was there a weapon?
From the outside, Fitzgerald High School appeared to be a typical school for
Where was
local
this
high
located?
achievers. Little did anyone know, though, that it was a place of toxic rivalries, hatred, and lies, culminating in one of the
high
most
school.
disturbing cases in Macomb County's history. Fitzgerald High School was home to many so-called straight-A students, creating not only a competitive academic environment, but also one simmering with jealousy. On the surface, however, it was hard to tell.
How?
Everyone appeared friendly and kind to one another.
It's high school.
In a school like this, students were laser-focused on building successful futures, with many aspiring to get into Ivy League colleges. But that didn't mean that they didn't make time for hobbies, friendships, and romantic relationships.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Like, when I was in school, yeah, you had your little casual, like, you had your people in relationships. You had the people who was hoeing around and shit. But, like, it wasn't no, like, if niggas and bitches was beefing like that, like, it wasn't to no point where somebody wanted to do some shit like this, bring a weapon to school to harm. Like, there's no way as a fucking child, because we're still fucking kids in school, there's no way you hate me that much. There's nothing in the world that can make me hate me that much. Like, I'm sorry. For you to stab somebody when it's supposed to be a fight, like, we can fight if it's beef. Not even then, but like, if you want to handle it, we can fight. But like, shit like this, like, that's too much.
16-year-old Diana Gibson had a solid friend group with Evan and Tanaya. They hung out all the time, and there was hardly any drama between them. But let's be real here, when you've got a mix of single and a couple, jealousy does have a way of sneaking in. One time,
who was the couple?
there was hardly a friend and romantic relationships. 16-year-old Diana Gibson had a solid friend group with Evan and Tanaya.
I'm guessing
They hung
Evan
out
and
all the
Tanaya are
time,
the couple.
and there was hardly any drama between them. But let's be real here, when you've got a mix of single and a couple, jealousy does have a way of sneaking in. One time, Diana and Evan got paired up for a homework project.
Oh, God.
This meant that Evan would be spending time at Diana's house, which, as you can guess, didn't sit well with Tanaya. During...
Oh. okay, wait. Let me.
In their
Let's
study
learn the
sessions,
lore.
Tanaya was constantly texting Evan, clearly uncomfortable with the whole situation. It made things awkward, not just for Diana and Evan trying to get their work done, but for Evan himself, who started wondering if Tanaya was really the right person for him. Even though Evan kept telling Tanaya that there was nothing going on, she wasn't
See,
having it.
And that's why you just be cool. When you tweak out, it's a mental thing for sure. No bullshit. It's a mental thing. I understand that feeling because I'm a woman. Of course, I done went through that feeling. But like, half of the time, 9 times out of 10, you create the scenario in your head. The shit don't even be real. The more you talk about it, the more real it becomes. Let's just put that
Things
into
got
perspective.
so bad that she even asked to track his phone. That was the breaking point for Evan, and he decided to call it quits. Now, to be clear here, there was nothing romantic going on here between Diana and Evan. At least, not at first.
Not at first.
But
That's what I'm
after
talking
Tanaya
about.
was out of the
That's exactly what I meant. Put it in perspective. Put it in perspective. It wasn't a thing at first. They were genuinely just paired up. No. And then you push and you create shit, and then now you single, and now they getting closer, and boom, now they together. And now you hate her because you feel like he left you for her, and that's not how it happened. But that's what she's going to go with to make herself feel better. And now she hate that girl. Now that girl
Picture, the
dead.
two started getting closer.
That's sick.
Diana came pretty close to breaking the girl code, but in the end, she decided not to go there.
Oh, she didn't? And she didn't even break the girl
I'm gonna
code!
call her T because I keep butchering the name.
Yeah.
And T went out with her date, and apparently boy as well. Or she broke the code of, hey, we're girlfriends, you don't date someone I like.
Girl code.
All right, so there's a girl code violation. Back when was that occur? When did that occur?
Wait.
Yeah.
Go there.
Wait.
I'm just gonna call her T because I keep butchering the name.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
T went out with her date
T dated Evan. And she flirted?
boy as well.
She flirted with her?
Or she broke the code of, hey, we're girlfriends, you don't date someone I like.
Girl code.
All right, so there's a girl code violation. Back when was that occur? When did that occur roughly?
Last year.
Winter, spring?
God.
Winter.
So we're going back January, February. They had a little bit of a falling out over this girl code violation about a boy.
Yeah.
Everything, did they hang out much over the summer?
No.
Tanaya stayed friends with Evan and made several attempts to get back together with him. Eventually, it worked out, since Diana and Evan were never officially a thing. Plus, Tanaya and Evan shared a lot of the same extracurriculars, so their friendship never really went away. After thinking it over for a while, Evan decided to give her another shot. He hoped that she'd changed and wouldn't be the same jealous, clingy person that she was before. Spoiler alert, she hadn't. This time around, Tanaya took things to a whole new level. She actually went through Evan's phone and deleted all of his female contacts. Yep, all of them. Evan, still trying to make things work, kept telling himself that he was loyal and he didn't have anything to prove. Well, too bad the same thing couldn't be said for Tanaya.
So what has been going on the last 10 days since this happened?
Okay, so what happened was, cheated. And
Who did she supposedly cheat with?
We don't know the guy.
Any idea who he might be if I wanted to find him?
Who is he talking to right now? Who are these
When
people?
was this alleged
Is
cheating
these-
time occur?
It was last year.
So we're talking about
Also.
this secret affair thing is from like a whole year before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
During their relationship, Tanaya had a secret affair with some mystery guy.
Wow.
A fact that she managed to keep hidden for an entire year.
Wow.
The only reason this bombshell came out was because she confided in a friend. That friend, later chatting with Diana, spilled the tea, knowing how close Diana was to both Tanaya and Evan. When Tanaya told her friend about the affair, she probably assumed that it wouldn't go anywhere. After all, she didn't really care about Evan anymore. But when it came to Diana, someone who genuinely liked Evan and wanted to protect him, the friend couldn't keep the secret to herself.
Diana.
She felt that it wasn't just her burden to carry, but Evan's too. Even though the friend told Diana in confidence, Diana eventually told Evan the truth. Evan was crushed. He started looking back on everything. Every time Tanaya accused him of cheating, every time she kept tabs on him, all while she was the one sneaking around. He'd already given her a second chance after seriously questioning their relationship, but this was it. This was the final straw.
Wait, they were together
Evan
when he
called
found
Tanaya
out?
to a private spot, confronted her about the affair, and ended things for good. Tanaya was devastated. Why she cheated in the first place is still unclear, but it happened. She was also completely confused about how her secret got out. After asking the friend that she had confided in, the truth came out.
That's how the fight
It was
started.
Diana who let Evan know. Well, after Tanaya found out how Diana was the one who sabotaged their relationship, she sent this chilling text message to her. At the time,
She
Diana
ain't
didn't take the
fucking-
text too
she ain't do
seriously.
shit, bitch,
I mean,
you
after all, they were
cheated.
just teenagers.
I hate- oh, no,
She knew
whatever.
that she probably shouldn't have spilled the secret, but in her mind, she was just looking out for Evan. And yeah, while the breakup was tough on him, it also felt like that it might open a door for her to finally make a move. After the breakup, though, Tanaya was no longer the bubbly, studious girl that everyone knew. She became a loner, her grades started slipping, and she mostly kept to herself. On top of that, she lost a lot of her friends, and she seemed like a completely different person.
Have you talked to T about what's going on with her?
I talked
When's
to
the last
her
time you talked to T?
last week.
What was that conversation about?
I was telling her like she's really crazy. I wouldn't want to be friends with her anymore because she gets too jealous, like and crazy.
You told
Jealousy
her,
is
like,
a
this is
bitch
getting out of
for
hand. I
real.
don't even want to be your friend because of what's going
I
on
was
with
like,
you.
you can continue. I
Oh,
don't
so
want to be friends
it's
with
like
you
a
anymore.
mutual friend.
Now that we know what happened, is there anything prior to this that you're like, oh, that maybe that was a sign or something?
No, I mean, she had depression, of course, but she would tell me she cuts herself or whatever, but she would never harm anybody else.
Was she getting any special treatment through the school or anything?
She had a therapist that she would go to, and she took antidepressant pills.
Tanaya still clung to the hope that somehow Evan might take her back. But let's
Oh,
be real
she's
here, that ship had
delusional.
already sailed. She and Evan ended up arguing over text. And while Evan managed to dodge what could have been an even more toxic relationship, not everyone was thrilled with how things went down. A lot of Diana's friends and even some family members felt that she shouldn't have snitched. To them, it seemed like that she wanted the relationship to end all along. But before that, I'd like to thank this video's sponsor, Morgan the Purse Dollars law firm. With Morgan and Settle clients in Philadelphia, you hire, they've got you the max 4 comms camera.
4.0.
Okay, so she's getting admitted to the advanced programs and all that stuff, but she's also got this depression issue that she's seeing some about. Okay. All right, so anyway, back to the account. So like a year ago, they got an argument over this. Early September, start hanging out. This is driving T nuts.
The only reason, I think she should never tell her is just off the strength is that like now she involved in something that really ain't have nothing to do with her. Like trying to be a good friend gets you in trouble too. Like she should have just let them figure it out. I feel like he would have found out eventually, or he would have never found out. But and a lot of problems probably would have been prevented if she
Tuesday
wouldn't
night,
have
the night
said
before
nothing.
all this, T at some point during the day found out she cheated. Did that with her at all about it?
He texted her. I don't know what went on in that conversation either.
Okay, he texted her saying, "I know you cheated on me" or something like that.
Yeah.
And I understand you didn't get the text. I'm just asking your understanding because you know those people better than I do.
Yeah, he asked her, "Did you cheat?" And like, "What did you do?" and stuff.
So that she finds out eventually that. So Tuesday night they exchange mean texts with each other about it, and then Wednesday morning is when all this happened.
It was around 8:20 a.m., a typical economics class with over 20 students, none of whom had any idea of the tragedy about to unfold.
During the class, our teacher, she was talking about an assignment we were doing yesterday.
Okay.
And we work in groups.
Okay.
Those group activities. So like, it was during the transition where she was like, all right, get into the groups that you guys were in yesterday, when everybody got out, and I walked over to my group. I was in group 5.
Okay.
Or 4, actually, not that bad. So I went to group 4, and as I got over there, I was about to sit down, but I was looking for a place to sit, and that's when everything happened.
By 8:25 a.m., Evan, sitting in a different classroom, received a chilling text from Tanaya that simply said, "It's time."
What happened was, what I saw is, I didn't see anything at first.
Okay.
I heard some people yelling from behind me. I thought they were just playing around. It was the girl who ended up getting stabbed. She was yelling, and I thought that they were just kind of playing. And she ran up like here, and like went to the front of the class. And there was like a ton of people here, just congested for no reason. I don't know what they were doing, trying to probably get in groups like me, but I don't know. And then I saw the assailant behind that girl, like chasing her. I didn't hear her say anything, but I just remember that girl who was being chased was just like screaming like she was about to die.
The girl being chased was
the girl, yeah, she was screaming, like it was like to the point where it was like a movie scream, like something you don't hear. It seemed kind of fake, but I thought they were just playing around because they had previously been friends. From what I knew, they were friends. So
And that's
I
the
saw
fucked up
her
part
go.
about it.
It's like when I saw her go in with all these people, because she had to run through them, so like she kind of was moving slow, because she didn't want to knock them all over.
you say her, are you referring to the victim? Or
The victim.
Okay.
I saw the victim because she was, running away. She ran first through him. She was screaming, and I saw her being chased by the assailant. And I didn't see the assailant armed or anything because I didn't look at her hands. I just saw her chasing her, and she had a look of anger on her face. And the victim was scared, obviously, and was running away. And that's when I saw her go to the front. She was like over in this area. Both of them were. I saw the assailant kind of like punch her in the back. I thought it was a punch. I'm pretty sure she got stabbed, but I only saw a punch.
Okay. Just tell me what you saw.
Okay. So I saw her get punched, and then the teacher ran over, and the teacher like pulled them apart and broke it off, and pushed the assailant out the door. And the assailant out the door said, "I'm gonna kill her."
There weren't any security cameras in the classroom, but almost every witness recalled the same horrifying scene. Diana running and screaming for help, with Tanaya chasing after her, a sinister smile on her face, before stabbing her 4 times. Diana was rushed to the nearby hospital, but despite the medical team's best efforts, one of the stab wounds had pierced her heart. Tragically, Diana Gibson was pronounced dead just hours after arriving. The police quickly arrested Tanaya Lewis, fully aware that she was responsible for the stabbing. During her interrogation with Detective James Twardesky, we start to get a glimpse of what drove her to take someone's life over a love rivalry. Was it pure rage, or were there deeper mental or psychological issues at play?
But before we do all that, I gotta talk to you about 2 procedural things. You mind grabbing a seat then? Go ahead, sit right there. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on except for
I know she's not crying. I know she's not crying.
Also, let's not forget that
That's
this is
what pissed me
Michigan,
off the most.
where if you're 17,
Don't
you're
cry.
tried as an adult. Therefore, Tanaya can't have any guardian or parent present in this interrogation.
She don't
By the way,
need it.
if you're finding this video interesting, please make sure to
do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
What do you mean,
Okay.
yes and
The
no?
way every police investigation works, from a mailbox getting broken all the way up until the crazy blowing up the World Trade Center. The way it works is the police's job is to gather up all the information, find out what the truth is, gather all the evidence. Okay, and then I present it to a prosecutor. All right, and then the prosecutor makes a decision on whether or not anyone's actually charged with a crime. Now, in order for me to determine what happened and find out the truth, I would like to talk to you, okay, just to hear what your side of the story is about what happened. Are you interested in telling your side of the story to me?
I almost turned my computer off.
Cameras in here.
There is a camera.
You looked at it.
The camera in this room is that device.
I
above you there.
literally seen her look at the camera when she
It's all
sat
being
down.
recorded. There's no need to. I don't have anything to hide. I'm just going to ask you questions. The thing I tell people is I work in the detective bureau. And I know a lot of people think like the traffic bureau, like they have to write 100 tickets a month, right? Or they're not doing their job. In the detective bureau, that's not the way it works. Okay? My job is to get to the truth. Okay? My bosses evaluate me not by how many people I arrest or how many people get charged or anything like that. My bosses evaluate me based on did I get to the truth. Okay? And I take a lot of pride in trying to get to the truth. All right? So, or would you be interested in telling me your side of the story?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. In order to do that, I'm going to read you some things that are your rights. Okay? If you would just please sign there that I read those to you, and you can look at the form. That's all it says is that I read those to you.
Anything that happens after I sign that is going to get me in trouble.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it will. Because everything up until this moment didn't matter because no one read me my rights. And now that I've been read my rights, anything I say or do can be used against me.
Well, duh.
Well, I don't know what you're going to say, so I can't predict the future.
I'm going to tell you the truth, the whole truth.
Well, I want to hear the truth.
I can't sign that until I
Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can work
Don't
that
get
out.
me wrong, I'm a very empathetic person. My sensitive ass is very
The
sympathetic.
detective quickly
but,
realized that he was dealing with someone sharp.
she knew
Tanaya
what she was
picked up
doing.
on a key detail. If she made a phone call after being read her Miranda rights, the contents of that call could be used against her. But if she made the call before being Mirandized, it wouldn't be admissible. Smart move. The real concern wasn't the phone call or Evan, it was leaving her alone in the interrogation room. With full knowledge of her treatment for depression, the question lingered, was it safe to let her sit there, trapped with her own thoughts?
Relax. What happened? Oh, okay. Hey, you're okay.
It's hard to say whether this was a genuine panic attack or not, especially since Tanaya waited until she had the officer's attention before it started. Still, her heavy breathing suggested that she might have been hyperventilating. Either way, after the detectives managed to calm her down, they handed her the phone to make her call to Evan.
Do you want some water?
Had him on the phone. I was just waiting for you to stop screaming, and then you can. Let me help. Do you want to get up, or do you want to do it right there? You want to talk to him right there? Hang on.
Do you want?
What is he gonna do? He not gonna want to talk to you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
If you want some privacy, we can put you back up in the chair, and you can talk to him. I'll shut the door.
I just wanted it to all be over. You don't have to worry about me anymore. I told you I'll be out of your life forever. Did you love her? Did you have feelings for her? Goodbye,
What the fuck?
That call would be the last time that she reached out to him. Deep down, Tanaya knew that things would never go back to the way they were.
Duh.
Once this request was granted, she finally agreed to speak with the officer and allowed herself to be Mirandized.
It's just all blurry. I used to feel like I blacked out and I woke up and it was straight on with people I don't know. Don't even go asking for heaven.
Do you know a girl? Who is that? Okay. How do you know her?
I don't like her
Wow.
Why is that?
because I hate her.
Okay. What did she do that caused you to hate her?
Everything.
Everything.
boyfriend or a former
Over a
boyfriend?
boy. Over a boy. This is strictly just over a boy.
He's the love of my life.
Okay. How long have you guys been dating, or?
We've known each other like 2 years. She ruined everything.
Did she start dating?
They never even dated.
She ruined everything.
That's not what he asked.
Okay. That's gotta hurt pretty bad if you care about somebody and they leave you. When did this other girl come into the picture?
I don't remember.
Has it been since school started, before that?
Yeah.
Like, the fact she acting like they weren't all friends at the beginning of this is crazy.
And
What happened?
they were going cross country together. And they started hanging out. And she was over his house. She was just mad at me because I was talking to her ex-boyfriend.
Are they still dating? Or does she think they're still dating?
Is she okay?
She's at the hospital. I don't know.
Ooh, he
What
almost
happened
slipped
today?
up.
Someone hurt her.
What's that?
Someone hurt her.
You hurt her.
Okay.
You are
How
someone.
did she get hurt?
She was stabbed.
Okay. Where did she get stabbed at?
I don't know. I didn't see. I just saw her run.
Do you know who stabbed her?
Mm.
Okay.
It's crazy how she just expressed her true feelings about her and at the same time is denying any involvement in the stabbing.
Like, what?
Even the teachers who pulled Tanaya away from Diana saw her holding the blade and testified that she screamed for Diana's death. With all the evidence stacking up against her, it was clear where the blame needed to land. It was time for the detective to make it official.
Was he about to tell her?
Are you the one that stabbed her?
Oh, no.
What? I stabbed her.
You just said you hate the girl.
I stabbed her.
Well, we all make mistakes when we're angry.
Why would it hurt someone like that? Why would it do that?
And that's important, and that's kind of why,
How do I tell you?
that's why I'm here talking, because I know there's two sides, okay? You told me you got straight A's. You told me that you've never, I reran your record, you know, you've never been arrested, never gotten in trouble before, okay? I had this, I don't know you real well, but I asked the school resource officer to talk to the principal and stuff about you, and everyone said you're a good person, okay? My experience is that we all have a limit. At some point, we get so mad we do things we wouldn't otherwise do.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay. Is it possible that while you were angry, you did something you wouldn't otherwise do?
I don't remember anything.
Okay.
I saw it in heaven. And then I remember her screaming. And she was running and the room was dark. And they took me out.
Okay. Did you bring a knife to school today?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anything to you today?
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, did she talk to you? Did she confront you about your conversation last night?
I remember ever since I got to school, it just didn't feel right. And the air felt thick. It was hard to breathe. My vision got blurry. I wanted to give everything that I had $100 in my pocket that I knew I wasn't going to use anymore, so I gave it to him. And I know he was so mad at me. I gave it to him anyway. And then I went to class. I remember everyone watching me. And no one noticed. It's like they could sense something was wrong. And they can't at the same time. I shook Miss Sonnenfeld's hand.
She asked me how I was doing and I didn't say anything. I sat down at my desk. I remember I looked. Her desk was empty. I tried to listen. I tried to focus. I tried writing an assignment on the board. Told her really what it was about. And then they said something about moving into groups or something. And then I remember looking down in her eyes. And then nothing. Darkness. She looked at me. Her eyes were so big. She was scared. And then she started screaming and running.
What was your body doing when this happened?
I couldn't feel my body. Couldn't feel anything.
Could you see what your body was doing?
No.
I mean, if you could take back what happened today, would you?
I don't know what happened.
Or she don't know what happened.
Did I hurt her?
Yes. Tell her.
It appears from what the other kids have told us that you're the one that hurt her. We have a small knife that
That knife did
we
not look
recovered.
small.
Tanaya claimed that she handed $100 to Evan, saying that she wouldn't, quote, need it anymore. That alone showed that she walked into that room fully aware that things wouldn't end well. For
Literally.
her, and especially not for Diana. She even described the entire incident in vivid detail, except for one crucial part, the stabbing. Tanaya recalled seeing Diana, then later hearing her running and screaming, but conveniently skipped over what happened in between. In situations like this, when a suspect dances around such a key detail, one thing that can really throw them off is a direct, no-nonsense accusation.
We have a small knife that we recovered that we think has some DNA on it. I noticed that you have a small cut on your hand that looks like it could be from a knife. And I think maybe you made a mistake today that you wish you could take back, and your mind's just having a hard time processing what happened. It's obvious that you're a decent person, okay? And it's obvious that you're under a lot of stress.
Decent, yeah, decent.
Okay.
Barely decent.
And when you're a teenager and, someone that you're in love with chooses someone else, and then that person is mean to you or says stuff that upsets you, it's impossible not to get angry. Okay? I don't think that this is something you intended to do. Okay? I think you got really angry and you did something you regret and you can't take back. I think that you'll feel better, if you talk about it a little bit.
Sorry.
And I'll talk. If I know that you talked to him a little bit, but you were a little upset, and maybe you can call him again here. But I guess the question I'm having is, where did the knife come from?
Can we get a lawyer?
Now you want a lawyer.
It's up to you. Do you want a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Sit tight, okay? I can't get you the lawyer immediately, but we'll work on that, okay? While you're waiting, do you want any food or water? All right.
At that point, the evidence was already stacking up. Eyewitness testimony, the telltale cut on her hand from gripping a knife, and now...
It was a little pocket knife. Did I go past it? Alright, I went past it.
Now, to seal the deal, the detectives uncovered some surveillance footage from the school. Here you can see one of the teachers pushing Tanaya out of the class when all she wanted to do was keep attacking Diana. And while you can't hear her, she did yell out, quote, "I'm going to kill her."
Okay.
Let's
I just need you to answer me and make sure you're okay,
let's
alright?
push the chair, take the second chair out because it's just in the way, and then let's push that up against the wall.
Tanea?
Yeah.
Flash yourself. Pick up the chair so I don't hurt you, okay?
Oh, girl, boo.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
Boo.
Do you need any medication? Well, we don't want to do that.
No.
Would you talking to your mother help? Can I get you your mother, your dad? We're not going to let you hurt yourself, okay? I know you're in a bad spot and it's scary, but we're not going to let you do that, okay? You can get through this, but you want some food, some water. Ma'am, listen up to me for a minute, okay? All right? What I need right now is we have a nurse here that's going to come and take a look at you and check you out, okay? She's got to do some things both to gather evidence and to make sure that you're physically okay. All right? We have a court order from a judge to do that exam. Now, you've been very nice and you've been very cooperative so far. I'd like to see that continue, okay? But I need you to stand up. All right? You're okay. I'm going to roll you back on your butt. No. Okay. I don't want, if you can walk on your own, I won't have to touch you. Okay? It's really, you're in control is what happens, but you do have to go see the nurse, okay? I will help you if you want, but if you want to walk on your own power, that's okay too. But you are going over to the nurse. She's just 10 feet away. You're okay. Now, you're okay. You're in the police department. You're safe, okay? We're working through this. Your mother's on her way here, and you're going to go see a nurse. Okay, now, the thing I'd like to point out, you're just going to go in the room right to the right. See that nice lady right there?
Kudos to Detective Tardeschi for handling Tanaya with such calm and compassion. He knew that he was dealing with a suspect who had a medical history, and his approach reflected that care. But at the end of the day, all roads led to the inevitable, the arrest.
You're at the police department right now. You're being arrested for what took place at school today. Right? I've told your mother that you're here. My understanding is she is on the way up. Unfortunately, and I hate to be the person to tell you this, but she did pass away from the injuries that she suffered. So what's going to happen next is we're going to take you up to the Warren PD jail. We're going to keep an eye on you, make sure that you're safe. And then we're going to take our investigation, all the evidence we gathered up, to the prosecutor's office and let them review the case. And then they'll decide what, if any, criminal charges you'll be facing. Without getting into the case or what happened, is there anything, do you have any questions about what's going to happen with you in the next couple of days?
On September 14th, 2018, Tanaya Lewis was officially charged with one count of first-degree murder, a crime that typically carries a life sentence without the possibility of parole. But this is where the case takes a controversial...
I was about to say something about her hair, but I'm going to be nice. Be nice.
On September 14th, 2018, Tanaya Lewis was officially charged with one count of first-degree murder, a crime that typically carries a life sentence without the possibility of parole. But this is where the case takes a controversial turn. Prosecutors chose not to pursue life without parole, citing her age and her inability to fully grasp the long-term consequences of her actions. Instead, Tanaya pleaded no contest to first-degree murder as part of a deal that ensured that she would have a chance at parole later in life. She was sentenced to at least 27 years in prison, with eligibility for parole after 25 years, thanks to credit for time already served. This means that she could potentially walk free as early as 2045. What makes this ending so controversial is that she had a motive from the minute she sent this chilling text to Diana.
Literally.
She brought a steak knife from her home, and she did it all over a romantic rivalry.
Why y'all choose that video?
We've personally seen people get life sentences for lesser things, which makes this sentence incredibly confusing. Add to that the fact that she was tried as an adult, as per Michigan law, yet they claim that she was unable to appreciate the long-term consequences. This is why the Gibson family still feels injustice in their hearts and have not accepted Tanaya's half-hearted apology, which she gave in the courtroom. Now, if you think this case was horrific, well, you need to check out my video on the evil...
Teenager. You're a teenager. Spend half of your life in jail over a boy. Okay. Sure.